Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Without anybody else or anything else. He flew solo. A flight in which the aircraft pilot is unaccompanied. A musical composition for one voice or instrument, with or without accompaniment. Any activity that is performed alone without assistance. Composed or performed by a single voice or instrument. A passage for solo clarinet. Fly alone, without a co-pilot or passengers. Perform a piece written for a single instrument. Without anybody else or anything else. The child stayed home alone. Without any others being included or involved. The burden of proof rests on the prosecution alone. Lacking companions or companionship. He was alone when we met him. Exclusive of anyone or anything else. She alone believed him. Radically distinctive and without equal. He is alone in the field of microbiology. Isolated from others. Could be alone in a crowded room. Without anybody else or anything else. Being without an escort. Of a state or an event, taking place without something specified occurring at the same time. A headache unaccompanied by other symptoms. Playing or singing without accompaniment. The soloist sang unaccompanied. Moving swiftly. Fast-flying planes. An instance of traveling by air. Flying was still an exciting adventure for him. Hurried and brief. Paid a flying visit. An instance of traveling by air. A stairway, set of steps, between one floor or landing and the next. Decorate with feathers. The path followed by an object moving through space. The act of escaping physically. His flight was an indication of his guilt. A flock of flying birds. A formation of aircraft in flight. An Air Force unit smaller than a squadron. A scheduled trip by plane between designated airports. I took the noon flight to Chicago. Fly in a flock. Flighting wild geese. Passing above and beyond ordinary bounds. A flight of fancy. Shoot a bird in flight. Repair by adding pieces. She pieced the china cup. A portion of a natural object. He needed a piece of granite. Eat intermittently. Take small bites of. He pieced at the sandwich all morning. An item that is an instance of some type. He designed a new piece of equipment. A share of something. A period of indeterminate length, usually short, marked by some action or condition. I need to rest for a piece. A musical work that has been created. A work of art of some artistic value. It is not known who created this piece. An instance of some kind. It was a nice piece of work. Create by putting components or members together. She pieced a quilt. A portable gun. Game equipment consisting of an object used in playing certain board games. He sacrificed a piece to get a strategic advantage. To join or unite the pieces of. A serving that has been cut from a larger portion. A piece of pie. A distance. It is down the road a piece. An artistic or literary composition. He wrote an interesting piece on Iran. A separate part of a whole. An important piece of the evidence. Join during spinning. Piece the broken pieces of thread, slivers, and rovings. An essay, especially one written as an assignment. He got an A on his composition. Art and technique of printing with movable type. A musical work that has been created. The composition is written in 4 movements. The spatial property resulting from the arrangement of parts in relation to each other and to the whole. Harmonious composition is essential in a serious work of art. The way in which someone or something is composed. The act of creating written works. Musical creation. A mixture of ingredients. Something that is created by arranging several things to form a unified whole. He envied the composition of their faculty. A musical work that has been created. A musical work that has been created. A musical work that has been created. An organic process that takes place in the body. Respiratory activity. The state of being active. His sphere of activity. The trait of being active, moving or acting rapidly and energetically. The level of activity declines with age. A process existing in or produced by nature, rather than by the intent of human beings. Volcanic activity. Any specific behavior. They avoided all recreational activity. Chemistry, the capacity of a substance to take part in a chemical reaction. Catalytic activity. Pass away rapidly. Decrease rapidly and disappear. Travel through the air, be airborne. Man cannot fly. Run away quickly. Flap consisting of a piece of canvas that can be drawn back to provide entrance to a tent. Operate an airplane. An opening in a garment that is closed by a zipper or by buttons concealed under a fold of cloth. Baseball, a hit that flies up in the air. Be dispersed or disseminated. Rumors and accusations are flying. British informal, not to be deceived or hoodwinked. Cause to fly or float. Fly a kite. Change quickly from one emotional state to another. Fly into a rage. Display in the air or cause to float. Fly a kite. Fisherman's lure consisting of a fishhook decorated to look like an insect. Hit a fly. Move quickly or suddenly. Transport by aeroplane. We fly flowers from the Caribbean to North America. Travel in an airplane. She is flying to Cincinnati tonight. Travel over, an area of land or sea, in an aircraft. Lindbergh was the first to fly the Atlantic. Two-winged insects characterized by active flight. Operate an airplane. something that serves as a model or a basis for making copies. A program exemplifying a contemplated series, intended to attract sponsors. Someone who is licensed to operate an aircraft in flight. An inclined metal frame at the front of a locomotive to clear the track. Operate an airplane. The pilot flew to Cuba. Small auxiliary gas burner that provides a flame to ignite a larger gas burner. Act as the navigator in a car, plane, or vessel and plan, direct, plot the path and position of the conveyance. A person qualified to guide ships through difficult waters going into or out of a harbor. Carry out or perform an action. Get something done. Give a performance of something. Horowitz is performing at Carnegie Hall tonight. Perform a function. Who will perform the wedding? Military. A person who freely enlists for service. Composition, often improvised, for a solo instrument, especially solo organ, and not a regular part of a religious service or musical performance. Controlled by individual volition. Voluntary motions. Of your own free will or design, done by choice, not forced or compelled. Man as a voluntary agent. Punishment for one's actions. You have to face the music. Any agreeable, pleasing and harmonious sounds. He fell asleep to the music of the wind chimes. An artistic form of auditory communication incorporating instrumental or vocal tones in a structured and continuous manner. Musical activity, singing or whistling, etc. His music was his central interest. Music, the sounds produced by singers or musical instruments, or reproductions of such sounds. Travel via aircraft. Air travel involves too much waiting in airports. Travel via aircraft. The art of operating aircraft. The aggregation of a country's military aircraft. The operation of aircraft to provide transportation. Exposed to fresh air. The mass of air surrounding the Earth. It was exposed to the air. Travel via aircraft. Air travel involves too much waiting in airports. Exposed to cool or cold air so as to cool or freshen. Air the old winter clothes. A slight wind, usually refreshing. As he waited, he could feel the air on his neck. A succession of notes forming a distinctive sequence. She was humming an air from Beethoven. A distinctive but intangible quality surrounding a person or thing. An air of mystery. Broadcast over the airwaves, as in radio or television. We cannot air this X-rated song. Make public. She aired her opinions on welfare. Medium for radio and television broadcasting. The program was on the air from 9 till midnight. A mixture of gases, especially oxygen, required for breathing, the stuff that the wind consists of. Air pollution. Be broadcast. This show will air Saturdays at 2 p.m. Exposed to warm or heated air, so as to dry. Once thought to be one of 4 elements composing the universe, Empedocles. The region above the ground. Her hand stopped in mid-air.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.